welcome back, viewers, to another edition of Focus on Africans, the program where we talk about our continent, Africa. We bring you Africans to share ideas with us, to share their life experiences, and also to discuss with us how to move things on in our continent. Today we are in the Belma suburb of Amsterdam, where there are a lot of Ghanaians. And luckily for us, we found a very interesting African brother from Ghana. He's one of the pioneers of the Ghanaian community. He's also a leading member of the Ghanaian community. He has contributed a lot to the development of the Ghanaians here. Also, about a lot to the development of Africa. He has a very deep experience of Africa. And he's a very committed Pan-Africanist. We are very lucky and privileged to have with us today Mr. Kofi Toni Kofi.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and I very much appreciate your agreeing to appear on this program. I feel very privileged to meet you. I mean, and I've heard a lot about you, and I've read a lot about what you have done in the community and for the community.
Yeah.
And also for the continent of Africa. You remain committed. Thank you very much. And welcome to Focus on Africa.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's nice to meet you, Femi.
Yeah. We start the program by asking our guests to introduce themselves. Who is Toni Kofi?
Yeah, my name is Toni Kofi. I come from a small village near Obuasi.
Yeah, Obuasi.
But most of my life I've lived in Kumasi.
Okay. From you were born in the village of Obuasi.
I was born in Kumasi.
In Kumasi, okay, you were born in Kumasi.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
But I come from that small village,
yeah,
and
wow.
I don't want to say I come from Kumasi.
Okay.
Yes.
But Kumasi is where you grew up.
Yeah.
Where you were born and grew up.
Kumasi is all over Ghana. Kumasi is a place where I know, I feel it.
Yes, it's also very, for Africa, it's very historical and a cultural center.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah.
And it could have been more. But thank God, because of the position or the situation of the king of Ashanti, who is the custodian of the Ashanti culture and values.
Yeah.
So, although the city changes or trying to change in a modern way, everybody knows that there is somebody who is the king of Ashanti.
And before we go deep, I'm going to ask you, why do you think the Ashanti kingdom remain unique? They still all the traditional integrity.
Yeah, you see, traditionally,
yeah.
Even if you are king of Ashanti, you cannot afford to go out of what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because in your person, it is not your person anymore. You are an embodiment of the spirit, of the values, and the essence
of the Ashanti kingdom.
Of the Ashanti kingdom.
But why is Ashanti kingdom different? That's the question. Because we have also
then you are going to go into history because the Ashantis were those who established a larger kingdom. You know, there were many kingdoms, the Gonjas and this in the north, in the Volta region, in other parts, in the coastal areas. But the Ashantis, through war and their own population, they were people who were able to expand. Okay. And Ashanti came into being not because of one chief, but because of several chiefs who agreed to come together. Yeah.
Federation.
So all over the region, until even part of Ashanti became Brown Hafo. Ashanti was the largest region. If you use kingdom these days, people may think...
and then what are the things you remember from your youth in Kumasi?
It was the presence of... You see, when we were growing up in the 50s, even though you don't know a person, the person knows you because he knows your parents. So, for instance, if you didn't go to school, somebody will grab you by this thing, either take you to your house or take you to the school while school time is like this, and you are not... You see what I mean? Okay. And then they will remove your shorts and see your underwear. So each school has a different color.
Color
So even if you don't tell them, they know where you are coming from. They will take you to the school.
There was a sense of community in those days. Some people
That was the essence of a child is brought up by a whole village. You know, that concept. Everybody takes care of everybody, and everybody disciplines everybody's child.
Yeah, because you belong to you are a child of the community.
Exactly.
Not of your own.
Yes, not your father's child. When you go out, you are not your father's child anymore. You are the child of the community, and you have so many fathers and mothers who are either loving you, admiring you, or reprimanding you. You see?
Okay.
Yeah.
Was Kumasi the only place you stay when you were young, or did you travel around?
Oh, my father was a director of education.
Okay.
So he was transferred from place to place.
Do you remember some of the places?
Oh, yes. I attended school in Berekum.
Oh, okay.
I started school in Kumasi, St. Joseph's Primary School. Then my father was sent to Berekum, so we went to school in Berekum. My father was brought back to Efijasi, and I went to school there. Then from Efijasi, my parents were in Fomena, Adanse. I was there. And then from there, my father was sent to Tepa, and then I was there, and Dujama, and I was there, and Yinahini, and I was there, and Sekondi, and I was there, Takwa Naboso, I was there, and so on until my father retired.
You were moving around with them.
So always you're moving, you have so many classmates, but you don't have some binding classmates, you see. That's why I know so many people in Ghana.
Okay,
because you move from school to school, you meet people, and my name was called Anthony Mary.
Anthony Mary.
So it also made me unique, a man who is called Mary. So many people.
Why did they call you Mary then?
Because that's my name. I was born on the 15th of August, and as a Catholic, Mary is such a big
saint
figure. So although I'm a man, my name is Anthony Mary.
How did you feel with your education then, moving from places to places?
The whole thing was that as you go to a school or a town or a school, you are bonding with some people, then your father is transferred. Then you have to begin bonding, and then you are transferred. My father, you see?
As a child, didn't you get confused? Or?
Yeah, those days you didn't think like this, but probably it was also preparing me to relate to everybody, not only focus on one ethnic group. Okay. You know, you are sent to. When you go to secondary, they are speaking Fanti, you pick a little bit. Your father is sent to Accra, then the Ghana, and then to Atebubu and to Sunyani and all those kind of places.
That was a good policy then.
So you see, that's why probably it is also the influence on me to see people as my own, you know.
Not discriminating on ethnic.
No. Yeah. So from there, if you are all over the country, you are relating with people, then you begin to see that you don't relate to only the town or the village where you come from. You have
broadening your horizon.
Yeah, it broadened. So when I came here, it was easy for me to
make your life easier.
Relate to Nigerians, Sierra Leonean. In this house, at least 31 people have lived in my house.
From different nationalities?
Sierra Leonean, Liberians, Nigerians, Gambians.
I think I understand, because not growing up in one place.
Yes.
Broadening not only your horizon, but it makes you relate to other cultures.
Yes.
But you appreciate every culture.
Differences is not a barrier, you know.
But what language do you use at home? When you were growing up, because you were moving
the Ashanti language.
The Twi language.
Yeah, the Twi language. You know.
When you were in Accra, then you pick up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of mini or this or that. and so on, so on, so.
Okay. Wow. And then your father retired.
My father retired.
And then you went back to Kumasi.
Then by that time I had become a man of my own.
Okay.
You know, because when my father was going round like this, then you went to school, you went to boarding school. Yeah, okay. Sometimes you are leaving this town, you go to school. When vacation time, you're not coming here because your father is sent to another place. Things like that.
Wow,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how big was the family, your family?
My father had 10 children, my father, my mother.
And the 12 of you were moving around?
Yes.
The nomadic.
Yeah. You know, this
Okay,
government transport,
I
this still
thought
take
you have
us.
to get a train to travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
The government transport.
Yeah.
comes to take you.
Anytime my father is moving,
In the
there's
government.
this government transport which will come and take
It,
all our
it must
things.
also be very exciting time for you. I mean,
Yeah,
your
in a
people-
way, especially. Yeah, but sometimes when you are leaving your friends,
become
you know.
But also, people will admire you that that's a guy who's moving around. He knows
But yeah, those days, if we have only known, if I've only known that moving around would impact on my worldview with other people, I might have maybe put down some things.
Yeah, but
see.
you
know, yeah.
Okay, you were too young then.
Yeah, you go here and the food you're eating is kenke. You go there, it is so and so, and so on and so on and so on. So it sort of diversify also your tastes.
Enriches you.
Yes, of course. That's the most important thing. Okay. Now that I'm matured, I know how much it has made me who I am now.
Yeah. How did you finally settle after you left home?
After all this going round, then you finish secondary school. Okay. Then I didn't do well at all, so I had to go to training college because those days.
Training college?
Yes.
Okay.
And for that, I came back to Kumasi.
Okay.
Because then I was teaching at University Primary School. I taught there until I went to the university.
And where did you go to the university?
I went to university I did University of Education.
Winneba?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Winneba.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you're a trained teacher?
Yes, professionally.
Oh.
Professionally.
Okay.
I'm a trained teacher.
We'll get to that, but I thought you were more in management consultancy. Or that
You
come
see,
later?
you see,
Or that came later?
my to become this was not something that I studied. Anyway, when I came here, I did some further studies.
But let's say you went to Winneba.
Yeah, I finished.
You finished, and then what?
Then I came to teach at St. Louis.
St. Louis is
St. Louis is a training college.
At,
and secondary school in Kumasi.
Kumasi. Okay, you went back to...
And yes, so there, you see, from University Primary School, Kumasi, I went to study. I came back, Kumasi, and then from Kumasi...
Kumasi keep drawing you back.
Yeah, because there your friends are, I mean, your roots or your people will say your spirit is. Okay. So and then something happening during the June 4th thing. I got a little bit of involved, so I didn't go back to Kumasi. Okay. Then I went to secondary Takrady.
Okay. And still teaching?
Yeah, still a teacher at Fijai Secondary School. And then there was around that time in 82, then the Rawlins Revolution came, and then I don't know who told them, but before I know it, my name was being mentioned on the radio.
You had your name on the radio?
You have been appointed. Come on.
Appointed as a what?
PNDC, Deputy Secretary for Western Region.
Wow.
Then for 1 week I didn't go because
you didn't go to school. Or you didn't.
I didn't go to that place because it was strange.
Were you still teaching?
Yeah.
They didn't communicate it to you officially.
It was on the radio.
No?
News.
No.
One afternoon. Is it 1 o'clock news?
What if you have missed it?
Well, people have known, but also they said Anthony Kofi. But people know me as Tony Kofi. Okay. But then I knew it was me. Okay. So Rawlins himself had to come to Takrady one early morning, about 3 a.m.
To meet with you?
Yeah. So somebody was knocking on my door. I looked through the window. I saw a Bowak army car. I said, what is this? Then it was...
Were you scared?
No. I mean, you're always scared when you think you've done something wrong.
If you saw, suddenly you see a armored car.
Yeah, and then I went. He came with some army captain that I know very well. Then he says, why have you not taken up this appointment and things like that? And that is history, you know. Okay. But I thought, no. I identified with that revolution, yeah? So Fijai Secondary School became like a Saturday training place for the for the cadres.
Okay.
You see, so we were busy.
Okay.
You see, in the whole of Ghana, Western Region PDC was the strongest and the most militant.
Okay.
Although in Secondary Takrade,
Okay.
you had, unlike any other city, you had the Navy, you had the Air Force, you had the Army,
okay.
all in one place.
Okay.
So being in this position in such a place,
Strategic.
when those times there were coups, oh, it's unbelievable. You know, sometimes early in the night, I'm taking my car, I'm going to the barrier at Apramdo, which is for this thing. Then you are going here, it's for the Air Force. You are going here, it is for this. And then you have to talk. I didn't have a bodyguard. I never used them.
Okay.
Never. Because I had my AK-45 in my car.
47.
I have my small Uzi. I have my grenade in my briefcase.
That's militant.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Really?
yes. I mean,
So did you take up the appointment?
oh, yes, I did.
Okay.
I did.
After you spoke with
And then you see, that time they were trying to, the regional PN secretary
yeah.
was seemed to be something. So when I went there, he was only there for a few weeks. So I had to take up that responsibility.
As a secretary of, for Western
Yeah.
Well,
Not on letters, but in function. I was functioning because he was not there.
what were you responsible for? What were your functions?
No, my friend. You are bringing...
running the sort of
I
administrator.
mean, yeah, it's just like a regional minister. Now they call it regional minister. You see, it's just the same
So you
thing.
were responsible for the whole Western region.
Yes, the whole Western region.
For how long was that? How many years?
Yeah, I can't remember the times. But then...
So you left teaching?
No, yeah,
was it teaching?
yes, you can teach.
Okay, good.
You can teach and
The
become this.
minister running.
Yeah, my most concern at that time was how people could understand what the whole thing was. I believe in the whole thing, you know, really.
So you want
But
to
from my
explain
here
to
to
the
there.
people.
And then you have to deal with the PDCs, you have to deal with the army, because also late in the night, I'm going to Apramdo to talk to other ranks and the same time go to see the officers. And the same thing, you have to be testing the pulse.
Okay.
Then you have to look at things administratively. Regional directors who are not correct, who are trying to create problems, and so on and so on.
Also,
Shortages, those days there were severe shortages. That even if you don't take care, you become the one who should make sure who gets engine oil or who doesn't get engine oil. So you are thrown to be in terms of security, then the economic things to flow.
Heavy responsibility.
Yes, and then the hospital. What's the name of this hospital? Fiankwanta. For instance, the doctor said there is no air conditioning in the theater.
You have to.
You know. Then in my residence, there were so many air conditioning. I asked the PWD people to remove them and go and put it there. Oh, they don't have water, and then you have to go here and find people to bring a tank. I'm just trying to say that you have to be sensitive to things like this.
The other currents.
You see, you don't give order to somebody. Hey, if Fiankwanta don't have this, go and do that. You cannot do that because those days it is only you whose word everybody takes. Okay. For instance, there was shortage of water. The pump at I've forgotten the village where they have their water pump. The pumps were not working, and then we have so many government engineers all over the country. Anytime the pump breaks down, they take it to Obuasi mines. There's an old English engineer who can fix those old things. Okay. And they were talking about we have to import new pumps. I say, where's the money? Those days we didn't have the money. So I say, let those days for a very young person to be facing those kind of things. I didn't even know I was a
secretary.
Yes.
How old were you then?
33, 34.
And
you see, I did not know.
And there was no training for it.
I didn't see the power.
There was no training for you.
No. I didn't.
So you have
See,
to go.
people think you have power, but you don't see that you have power.
But talking to people, giving order.
You only see you have responsibility.
Okay.
You see, that was preoccupying you.
Okay.
Of course, I can say you are fired, like some who was trying to play with my balls or something like that. And this guy was playing with me. I went to his office, and he didn't have time to see me, for instance. And I said, oh, yeah? You don't have time to see me? 1 o'clock news. He was fired. Because I just go to my office, send the telex to the castle that this man, regional director of education, is fired.
And that's it?
Yes, that is it. Oh, you.
That's also power.
Yeah, it was power, but it was not power whereby you use it, because this guy was sitting on something. Some of these people, they were part of the old system, and because they were so corrupt and things like that, they didn't want to move. We have a meeting, we all agree. I think once every month I have a meeting with all the regional directors of education, health, and all those kind of people, and then we are talking about the problem. Then you agree to do that. This one agreed to do that.
Go back to your office.
If you don't do that, then I'm coming around to make sure. That's why I say that you had more responsibility than what you consider to be power.
For how long were you at the AM?
I think after 1.5 years, then I came to Accra. To become PND secretary for NDC. That
NDC?
Time, yes. That time, the NDC was the National Commission for Democracy. Okay. The PDCs, WDCs came under NDC. So NDC was quote unquote something like a ministry. Okay. It was the real revolutionary organ. Okay. You see?
So you became the secretary to that?
Yeah, PNDC secretary to the NDC, and there too there were a whole lot. You can hear the PDCs of beating some people or this and that. Then you must also go and But also one thing is that those people they didn't have any training. It was a proclamation that you must take power, like Rollins used to take. Workers, you take power in where you are working. At the ministries, yes. So the people came together and took power.
Was it not anarchy?
No, it was not anarchy. You see, the society at that time
was turbulent.
I think, I would not say that it did well, because there were a lot of abuses also. Yeah. But people have become so desensitive to the national. There was no national thing. It was individual thing. Everybody is trying to make money. A ship will come loaded with, let's say, tomatoes, and one person is given the contract. So that person controls the whole tomato or the whole milk or the whole sugar or the whole whatever. Somebody was even taking the whole matches we were producing. We had a factory in Kade. One person...
Taking the whole consignment.
Yes. So the factory produced for him. And this man would destroy, let's say, 80%. And the 20%, the price go. The first time I saw that in Ghana, matches.
You would destroy them.
Matchsticks were being sold, not the box. Matchsticks. 10 matchsticks. Yeah. And then you have to find some old box. And one person was controlling that. You go to that factory, one person is controlling that. If that time had gone on, the country would have been divided into 1% rich and the rest like that. Okay. So, you see, in essence,
stem the abuse.
When democratic processes was not able to bring justice and peace and accountability, then something radical will have to happen.
We'll get to that then, because we're still going to talk more about the new dispensation we have in Africa.
Yeah.
And what happened after you left the PD?
No, I was in the PNDC. funny things happened. Mm-hmm. One night, my house was almost surrounded by armed men in Mufti. Mm-hmm. But it's another story. If you want the whole story, you go to Ghanaian Times or Graphic, 1984, I think in January. Okay. In the editorial, how they came to arrest me.
Okay.
You know, but that's a long story.
1984.
You see, it was something, for instance, we were in this government,
Okay.
and we thought we were giving ourselves. Because if you are, for instance, a regional minister, when there's a coup, you are number one to be picked
list,
or to
yeah.
be killed.
Yeah.
So it was not a time for you to be thinking about yourself, to time to make sure that things that we wanted to do were happening.
Okay.
So at the same time, you find leadership, like Jerry Rawlings, for instance, who could not respect the contribution, the sacrifices. We have stopped our. We were not paid special salary. All the time I was
Secretary?
a secretary,
Yeah.
I had my salary from Fijai.
Oh.
Everybody who
the
was
school where you were
co-opted into government position,
Yeah.
your
Old
last employer was paying you exactly the salary that you were
No
receiving.
other allowances or.
Maybe you've been given a house, given a car, and things like that.
But your salary.
But your salary was not coming from
The government.
the government, it's coming from your employer.
Okay.
So those who had bigger position
Yeah.
and bigger, they were able to have more income than some of us.
Okay.
You see? And if you are unemployed, I think that there was, I've forgotten about those kind of things. But you see, one time, I think, the Rawlings came to, we were having a meeting at the castle, and how he assaulted some of the members, I didn't like it.
The PNDC members.
Yes.
Okay.
And
And that was the governing organ.
Yes, with all, no, like a cabinet.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
the government. Yeah.
And I don't know why I did that, but I asked him, I told him that I think he owes us an apology.
You told him,
Yeah, straight away, because he will come and go. And when I asked him that, I think, with all due respect, you owe us an apology. The look he gave to me, if lose can kill, that day I would have fallen down. But he did apologize. He did. There's no two ways about it. He did.
Yeah.
But from that day, I knew,
You are marked.
you see.
gone.
So when all these things happened, and then I got arrested, and I was not told what I've done. I was at the BNI, and it's serious. Sometimes when I'm thinking about these things, I said, well, maybe it's some kind of training.
Is it not like they say that revolution have a way of dethroning their children?
Yeah, because some people in the early parts had tried to overthrow.
Okay, there were a lot of,
Maybe he thought, or they thought, I was
they're not,
also, there were so many coincidences which I had no idea what was going on.
Okay.
The only thing is that they came there to my residence in Accra at Cantonments. And I said, you lie back. How we dealt with them, that's why I say, go and find Ghanaian Times and graphic, editorial, front page, how they blasted me. I put all of them under gunpoint. I let them lie on the ground. How we did it?
The people came to arrest you?
And I asked them, 1984 January, and then it's a long, sometimes I don't want to talk about this thing because it disturbs my book.
Okay, but
I'm writing a book.
yeah, but
So when I talk, for instance, through this media, then I'm disturbing the flow of my book. But I got that, no, they couldn't take me because I said I'm not going. Who said? Then they say Kublenu. Kublenu at that time was the commissioner of police, the IGP. So they came about 3 a.m. in the morning. So in the morning, I went to police headquarters. Why I was looking for him to ask him, why did you ask those goons to come to my residence? Even that time, there was a PNDC law that even somebody who is what, you cannot pick that person. At that time, you must wait till 6 o'clock. But why was in my case?
okay, yeah.
Then he said he had instructions from blah, blah, blah. Before I know it, it's a long story. But I spent about 3.5 months in BNI headquarters.
And then you were released.
Yeah, I had to force them to release me. One morning I woke up and I went to the BNI director, question or consent, something, I've forgotten the name. And I tell him, today I want to go home. He says, what? I said, today I want to go home. Say, I didn't bring you here. Then he gave me a paper. Right, I will take it there for you.
And you did?
So, yes, I did. I did. In my letter, one key thing I said was that I was only contributing to somebody's mission. If I've done anything, you either try me and shoot me, fire squad, or let me go. When the man came back that afternoon, he says, they say you can go.
Just by taking initiative,
Yes,
then you could go.
just like that. I mean, when the spirit
Yeah.
comes,
Something admirable. You spent
3.5
months in detention without
Yeah.
people telling you why they are holding you.
Yeah.
So one day you woke up and said,
Yeah.
"Oh, let me take
Yeah,
it."
I went straight. I said, I want to see the director. I went there, say, what? I said, I want to go home today.
And then you got your freedom.
Yes.
What
And
did
then
you
he
do
came back, they said, you can go.
So what did you do then?
It's a long story.
What did you do after?
No. I went there. I've not been sacked from the government. But then there were funny things.
So you continue with your old job?
No, I didn't go to the office.
Okay.
But there were funny things that I felt I'm being watched.
Okay. So
Every day, 2 cars will be broken down in front of my gate. And then I'm not a small boy, you know. When I leave, then the cars will follow, and so on, all this kind of thing. And
I
you see, people don't know why I'm doing the things I'm doing without thinking about the money.
They think that you were crazy.
Because you begin to find out people died, people were killed, people got missing. Then you are saved for what? To do what? There you begin to know you have a certain kind of contribution or mission to accomplish. You see, and I could have been killed. There are things I cannot tell you, but one thing I will say. I went to Lomé because I wanted to get out. Some top person advised me, hey, my friend, the best thing to do is to get out. Leave the country quietly. And I didn't have money, so the nearest place I could go was Lomé.
Okay.
And from Lomé, I was able to organize my plane ticket. A friend of mine sent me, you see. But in Lomé, I met some of those people who they were calling them at that time dissidents. And my friend, who used to be, anyway, a friend took me there who has also been in exile because they plotted a coup. It didn't succeed, so they were all there. And then one of them told me, Secretary, give us a sheep. I said, give you a sheep. Yeah, we're all sweating down here. He says, you give us the sheep, we will tell you something. So, anyway, because Yadama has given them a big house. The Lomé house is big. The center is, big, compound. And so they had about 3 or 4 of that. And we went to another place, and those people say, hey, you own us something. You see, what was it about? I should give them a sheep. So we went to some village, bought a sheep. When we went there, they were all Muslims, so they were praying. We waited for them. The secretary, God is with you. I said, why? 2 times we waited for you, you didn't come. We were given orders to kill you. I swear to my God.
So they were supposed to kill you in Lomé?
No.
In Ghana?
When I was in Ghana.
Okay.
This same man will send me here late in the night and then put goons to wait for me. I'm telling you the truth. I cannot lie to you. Yes. And then all the 2 occasions, something wonderful happened. The first one, I had to go to see the regional minister or regional PNDC, so what's his name? He's still there. And I was sent to go to, when we reached just before the police barrier at McCarthy Hill, down there, my car flew. I stopped to talk with the boys, the soldiers, cigarettes and things like that, because it was curfew time. No cars. Those days, no cars. And when I came to start my car, we pushed this for 1 hour the car. So the secretary, some people will come and relieve us, the change. When they bring the car, they take you to your residence. Tomorrow we can see about your car. The next morning, ping, they brought my car. Secretary. The morning when we sparked the car, it's parked. So I said, okay. I didn't think. The other one was to go to Peduasi Lodge.
Yeah.
Because there were some Libyan
delegation
and blah, 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 blah. And from Cantonment to 37 Junction, immediately I felt like my stomach was aching. And 3 times I went to the toilet. That time, this hotel is now called Golden Tulip. It used to be called Continental. Okay. And from Takrade to Accra, I stayed there before I got my residence at Cantonment. Okay. So the guys know me. Then I went to the toilet. When I came back, again. Then I was draining, like you have got diarrhea. So they look at me and say, you can't go. You are looking very, very fit. Why are you going? I say, I'm going to Peduasi Lodge. No. There, in Lomi, those boys, those soldiers, were telling me that they waited for me down there, and I didn't come.
At Peduasi?
Down before you go to the hill. So that's why they asked me to give them the sheep, so that they can tell me.
What they were planning for you?
Do you understand?
Did you ask? I mean, how do you explain this thing? Why?
Well, they told you, and then the time they told you, they told me, it fitted into those times.
Why would they be planning for you? Well, they thought you were betraying the revolution?
I don't know. One day I will ask somebody, why did you send me and, plan to? Yeah.
Okay.
So, you see, in this world, that's why I keep telling people, every human being, if you believe that he has been made spiritually in an image of the one who created him, and that person has spirit. If you don't know that person's spirit, you cannot say you want to destroy the person.
It's not possible.
You see, that's how I'm humble. That's why I do the things I'm doing. Yeah. You see, because that's why I said I could have been killed 2 or 3 times. Why was my life saved? For who?
Okay. Well, we take this short break.
Okay.
On this program, Focus on Africans, hosted by the popular Pan-African writer Femi Akomolafe, who has devoted his entire life to championing African cause. We highlight this problem and try to look for solution. Focus on Africans is a program to watch, to meet with those with passion to build a better African for ourselves and the coming generations. Focus on Africans. Together, we can build a better Africa.
Back viewers, the program is focused on Africans, and our distinguished guest today is Mr. Toni Kofi in Amsterdam. We have been following his life story, how he joined the revolution, and now we're in Lomé. You were told in Lomé how they wanted to organize a clear.
Yeah.
What did you do after Lomé? For how long were you in Lomé?
When I was in Lomé, like I said, I didn't have money.
Okay.
People would think if you are former, what?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you as a former secretary, former minister.
You have to be corrupt to have money. In terms of, my salary is coming to
from
me
teacher,
as a teacher.
Yeah.
So
don't you have access to other funds?
No, I mean,
to make you escape?
I mean,
No.
I I escaped with the little money I had
Okay, good.
to pass through with the car to Lomé.
He got you to Lomé, and then you were
You know, then I'm almost stranded.
So what happened?
So I stayed with the uncle of one of that time he was the Minister of Trade, Kofi Mensah, in Lomé. And then I arranged to get some money.
Okay.
And I got some money from my sister in England. And I got some money from my brother in Geneva. And then I was waiting for the plane ticket. So I sent letters to, those days we didn't have mobile phone or internet and those things. So everything had to be either telephone, direct, or...
Okay.
And whoever will pay my plane ticket, I went to the KLM and I told the manager, he was a Dutch guy, and I said, listen, this is my story. I have to leave this country. I'm not safe here.
Refugee.
Yeah.
Okay. You were seeking refugee?
Yeah, I had already sought to get the UN Commission.
Refugee status?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I told him I cannot stay there because
it was not safe.
Because it was not safe. Yeah. They can drive to Lomé and pick people up just like that. So one day I was there, the KLM manager sends on my ticket has come.
From where?
From US.
Okay.
And then they added $200 for my pocket.
Which organization is it?
No, it's an individual.
Oh.
A friend of mine.
Okay.
Who paid. You can pay for the ticket, you know, and then they issue me the ticket, and they gave me also $200 that the person said they should give me. And then that afternoon, that same afternoon, I flew.
So?
I flew by KLM on my way to Chicago.
Okay.
That's where I was going.
Okay.
To seek asylum. Because I said, whoever bring me the ticket, I come to you. Okay. So if you're in England, I come to England.
That was what you decided?
Yeah. So, for instance, I know you in Amsterdam. I send you the letter. Yeah. I know her in this. Whoever bring the first ticket is where I'm going to go.
So you ended up in Chicago?
Then, no. I reached Schiphol Airport.
Yeah.
And they gave me the boarding pass, but the flight was late in the afternoon. But the flight from Lomé was early in the morning.
Okay.
Then, that time, inside the airport, there's a hotel, you know, I think owned by KLM. So they booked me in that place for me to rest a little bit. In fact, the whole idea of leaving wasn't easy. But I was lying down about 10 o'clock. Then I heard in the public address system, you can hear it in the room, that I was to report KLM information.
Okay.
I got up, went there. They asked me for the
boarding card.
The boarding card. They took it. They said they can't fly me to Chicago. I said, why? Yeah, because they have instructions that they can't take me to Chicago. I said, what kind of thing? My ticket is for... You know, it's a long story.
Okay.
But it was a Tuesday morning that I arrived here in Amsterdam. So then I started calling.
What was supposed to happen to you then if you cannot fly to Chicago?
Yeah. Either they take you back to Lomé, but how did they know I've left? But that's another thing. One day I'll have to find out who was behind it, you know? Because there at Lomé, there was this guy from the American embassy who was trying to collect information from me. And I said, look, I'm not those Africans who, when they have problems, they come out and they start blabbing. I don't do that. So I don't know whether it was him or whatever, but then they stopped me. So my friends in London, they called Amnesty International Amsterdam.
Okay.
And then this Amnesty International Amsterdam came to the airport to meet with me, talk about it, and they were trying to push for my departure to Chicago. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sleeping at the airport, I got tired.